This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Well, welcome in. It's Coffee, Country, and Cody from the Acuff House Simply Superior Studio, the living room of Roy Acuff. 1984, he moved in here till he passed in 1992. And Opryland, USA was alive and well in those days. And he was our ambassador, the face and voice of not only Opryland, but certainly the Opry. He had many pearls. He used matinee shows. Man, oh man, those were the days.
My buddy Mike Organ has worked at the Tennessean for years. Once a month he does a Facebook post of classic Tennessean photos. And there was one of Mr. Acuff and Miss Mildred riding the Wabash Cannonball on day one at Opryland, sitting in the front row.
Did you see who was behind him?
Yeah, it was
Charlie Collins and Bashful Brother Oswald.
Oswald, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who actually brought a mule team in here to break ground for Opryland back in those days. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had a place to put all the mules, though, did they?
Oz was from over there on the plateau around Cookville. Keith Bilbrey told me that he wrote a book, and he went back on his biography, and he went back, he was doing a book signing at the mall bookstore. And so all these old boys in bibbed overalls with chewing tobacco running down the corner of their mouth. They all rolled in there to see their buddy Oz. One of them opened the book, the cover of the book up, and saw the price, and he said, "Well, Oz, that ain't nothing but a ripoff." And Oz said, "What did you expect?"
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that picture because I saw your post on that. That was terrific. But good morning. And Kelly Sutton, what are you working on? Your first report coming up here a little bit.
Well, Keith Urban's back out on the road, and that's where he likes it. So I think probably
Not home with Nicole?
Maybe his girls are like, you know what? You're driving us crazy. Why don't you go out? He's one of those guys that, and I love this so much about Keith. And there are several people like this. Ricky Skaggs is one. But they noodle and play, and I don't think they even know they're doing it. It's just the music is coming out of them. It's going to come out of them if they have a stage or not. So it's probably better that you just put him to work, because could you see Nicole looking over lines for her next movie, and in the background there he is just, what are you doing? What are you doing? So anyway, Keith is out on the road. We'll tell you more about that. Also, Charles Kelly has the most perfect tribute to his son, Ward. It is one of my favorite songs. And then hearing it on this new album, Charles has a new album out. It's a solo project, not Lady A, and it's not country. It is adult contemporary. So there's a song on there that is an 80s classic. We're going to play a little bit of that for you. And Kenny Chesney. Kenny.
And his brother Kevin.
Kenny Chesney is celebrating a 20th anniversary with a release on vinyl that he's never had before.
I'm wondering what I'm going to bring. So we got Kevin Chesney. Yeah. Yesterday we had Scooter Jennings.
Scooter Jennings.
It's my turn to miss it.
That's right.
And I just ran to him in the green room a little bit ago and visited briefly with Jet Jurgensmeyer. He's going to join us on the Assembly Food Hall stage on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Welcome to the Assembly Food Hall stage. Actor, singer, songwriter, unicorn, Nashville unicorn, Jet Jurgensmeyer. Yeah, there are not just a few of you around who are native Nashvilleians.
There's not many of us. Every time I meet another one that was actually born and raised here, I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Yeah. I'm surrounded by my people.
What neighborhood did you grow up in?
I grew up on the west side of town out in Bellevue. So
Kelly's way.
Yeah,
not
you
far.
guys are co-movie stars, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
We are. We go way back.
We go way back.
Yes.
How old were you when you did that?
6, 7, 8. I don't know. Younger? How old was I? 6.
How old were you?
Same age I am today, baby.
There you go.
Exactly what it is.
Yes.
I have never changed. But it has been so much fun. It's interesting, you rambled off all of these things, but you truly are the ultimate multi-hyphenate. You have all of these things that you've added, and now Belmont student into the mix.
Yes, ma'am.
How's Belmont treating you? Are you loving it?
It's treating me very well, yes. I grew up being a Bruin. My mom went to Belmont. I grew up going to basketball camp there back when I thought I could still play basketball and had a college dream of playing basketball at Belmont.
Sure.
I realized you had to be tall and good at basketball, and I was neither.
I referenced Dan Patrick yesterday.
There you go.
When he was at Dayton, he said, I didn't score much, but I sure could shoot.
Yeah, yep, that's about all we got going for us, to be completely honest.
I can put it up.
The stereotype is real. So I grew, it was Belmont or not for me, is like the kind of running joke that I say. It was the only place I applied. I absolutely love it. It's been a blast. I've met a lot of really, really cool people. And I think that the cool thing that Belmont does is they're training us how to be in this industry in the long run. And you can go to any place. You can go to ASCAP, BMI, Big Loud, and you can find people that went to Belmont and are now in their 40s and 50s running it. So it's pretty cool.
You know, I had a similar experience when I applied to college. Syracuse was the only school I applied to because they have a great communications department. And then I heard back from them. And then I applied to many more schools.
There you go.
So, you know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
I was very
You never
fortunate.
know.
I fully credit my letters of recommendation. We were talking earlier about a mutual friend beforehand, and he wrote me a letter of recommendation.
Oh, yeah,
and
Derek Crownover.
Yeah, I have a feeling if Derek hadn't, it might have been a little bit more. I might have been looking at like Lipscomb or something down the road.
Well, and you're on the business side. We referenced Derek.
Yes,
you
sir.
were talking about business law, and Kelly had asked you off the air about what was the toughest class you've had so far.
Copyright law. It was because it's ever changing and AI is becoming a part of it. That class in and of
sure
itself.
It's very verbose when you read it.
Yeah, and especially when I was around other students that didn't grow up in the industry. I was fortunate that I've been in it literally my whole life. My parents have a publishing company, so I grew up in that area. And so to be around other kids while we're all trying to learn this, and it's an ever-changing side of this ever-changing industry, it was challenging, to say the least. That's how we'll kind of leave it at that. Challenging.
Well,
capital C
the latest to use AI, Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
Kelly had a story this morning.
It's in the video. So we'll
we
say
go.
he used it for video, not necessarily for the songwriting portion of it. But it is crazy because all of that now you're like, wait a minute, I could go into Chat GPT and say, write me a country song.
Oh,
It
it's
will do it.
bizarre. I have friends that do it as jokes, and it comes out sometimes where they got me faked out.
Yeah.
I'll think that we all heard the Randy Travis song. I mean,
That's
it
the
was
only
like
good
bizarre.
use of AI,
Yeah,
really.
it was
Yeah.
bizarre. I was like, oh my gosh, the legend's back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unreal how it's moving along and changing, and I'm kind of interested to see how it's gonna affect people that are like my age, that once we start really touring and going out on the road and having to write a lot full-time as a job, how that's going to affect us.
But
Yeah.
protecting your image is going to be huge too. That's where
absolutely.
that copyright law comes in handy.
Absolutely. It's going to become a lot more difficult to be like, I didn't write this song, or I did write this one, I didn't write
Right.
that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be challenging.
So you started acting when you were young.
4.
You
Here
were
in Nashville.
4?
I was 4 the first time
So,
I ever did anything.
Was that the first entertainment for you, was acting?
Really, music came first. I started getting on stage when I was 3. My parents used to own the Nashville Palace across the street.
Oh, okay.
And so I grew up on stage there. Actually, before we came in here, my mom was going through old photos and she found the first time I got on stage. It's pretty cool. So ironically enough, I think I'm dressed almost exactly the same. So not much has changed, to be honest. But I started getting on stage when I was 3, started acting when I was 4 here in Nashville, and it just kind of kept snowballing from there, going out to California when I was 5, and here we are.
That's so cool. You know, when you think about all the things that you've done, you very easily could have said, I don't want to do college. I already know what I need to know. You are a veteran in entertainment because of all of the acting that you've done, from, voiceover work to being in shows, network shows, movies. So why was it important for you to then say, hey, I really want to go and learn these extra things because I think it's going to help me in my career?
I feel like it's become extremely common for people, once they're on the back half of their career, to talk about things that they wish they would have known, or things that were contracts that they wish they would have read, or things like that. And I didn't want to be another statistic like that. I wanted to be able to sit back when I'm in my 70s and go, everything might not have happened exactly as I planned it, but it did follow a plan and didn't absolutely go haywire somewhere down the road. And so that was really important to me. It was really important to my family. Like, all of us go to college. All of my cousins, I'm an only child, so all my cousins, everybody goes to college. Yes, we've talked about
Only
this.
child nation.
Yes, we're
Yep.
multiplying.
You know our national anthem, right?
What is it?
Toby Keith's I Want to Talk About Me.
Nice.
You must remove your cap.
I never
and stand.
thought about that. That's great.
Hand over your heart anytime you hear that song.
I believe it.
Yes.
100%. It's so true.
Thank you, Bobby Braddock.
Yes. But it was very important for me. You know, it was important to my grandfather and my grandmother and really my whole family. And I enjoy it. I love learning. I might not be the most academically skilled human. Do I word that
That's
right?
fine. Yeah, it
Academically
sounded
skilled. But boy, I'll try. And I really have liked it. I like the classes I'm in, the people I've met, the professors I've met. It's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
What was it like to play Lainey Wilson's place the other night?
Oh, it was really, really cool. I'm fortunate that I kind of get to play all over Broadway a lot. You know, a couple of my friends will call me up last minute because I live so close to downtown that they can be like, my duo just canceled. Can you show up in 25 minutes? Why, yes, I can. You know, something that actually happened that was the first time it's ever happened at a place I played in Broadway, somebody requested Brandon Lake downtown. And I broke out into a Brandon Lake song, and the entire place stood up and started singing Gratitude back to me.
Every church in America sings Gratitude.
It was the
Yeah.
loudest
Yeah.
song that they sang.
Yeah.
We played all the hits. We got requested Wagon Wheel, Brand New Man. She played every Lainey Wilson song known to man. And Gratitude's the one that got the biggest standing ovation and the biggest sing-along with people praising Jesus. That was really, really cool.
Yeah,
that was
bizarre.
awesome.
I worked his Opry debut, and it was the same thing. 4,000 people singing that song.
Bizarre. I've
Yeah.
seen him twice in concert at the Ryman, and it's just, it's fascinating. And I was so thrilled to see that. So there's little moments like that that you don't get everywhere that you play. So being able to be in my hometown in Music City and have a moment like that happen is pretty cool.
Speaking of playing places, I have never been there, but it's one of those legendary venues that, like, everybody I know and like has played Knuckleheads. Have you been there before?
I've been there. I haven't performed there.
What's
and
it like? Is it a big bar? Is it like Exit In? What's it feel
For
like?
people who don't know, it's in Kansas
This
City.
is in Kansas City.
Yeah,
But, like, everybody's played it.
Yeah, everybody's played it. It's a pretty cool place. It's a
Yeah.
neat venue.
Yeah.
I hope to be able to check it off the bucket list and
Okay.
kind of add my name to that wall, that list.
Yeah.
I hope to be able to check that off one
Well,
day.
you're there in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
July 15th.
yeah. So we'll be there pretty soon, right? We are there in 2 weeks.
He's
yeah,
like,
that's
"Mom?"
right. I knew that I was in.
When you said that, I was
I
like,
mean-
God, I hope you're there in 2 weeks because your website says you are.
We're in Kansas City. We're in Idaho. We're in Cincinnati. We're here. We're kind of all over the place. So keeping it in order is kind of hard.
Set up the new single and video for us all over the world on WSM Radio and Circle Country Television called Red.
Of course. This one's, I wrote it with my friends Kaylee Clark and Erica Latza. It was one of those songs where I had been listening to a lot of Kojo, and his song Human, you know, was so bringing people together, and I really wanted to have my own version of that. And I was like, if you really think about it, we're all not that different. And so we wrote this song, put it out. It's been my fastest growing single I've ever put out. I'm so blessed, and this music video is really special. I hope everybody enjoys it.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
From the Assembly Food Hall stage, our guest this morning, Jet Jurgensmeyer. We just saw and heard Red, the new single, and you shot that video near Franklin, you said.
Yes, sir. Sort of near like Kix Brooks's winery down near Arrington, and it was the perfect day. It was the perfect weather. Everything just went right. It was a lot of fun.
Kix wouldn't let you use this place.
No, I called him up. He was like, "I got a thing that day, man. You might have to come back next week." We were like, "We can't swing it." I wish.
To quote Mr. Acuff, you can use it. I just have to charge you dearly.
That's it.
I imagine so.
So, again, we mentioned Lainey Wilson's Bell Bottoms Up, her bar you played recently. You're off to Knuckleheads in a couple of weeks. You got shows in Idaho, Ohio.
All over.
You know, here's the thing that I love. We were watching that video, and I'm like, you just look so natural. It has to be such an ease for you because it is a form of acting. And that's sometimes where we see people who are songwriters or artists, and they do a video, and they stand there, and they look really stiff because they've never had that on-camera experience before. This has to be like, man, all of my worlds are coming together when you're doing stuff like that.
It really is, because it's a rather intimate setting. You know, we're not having like a 40-person crew. I think there was like 6 of us. My parents, our friend, the 2 guys filming it, and me. Like, that was it. So it's really intimate. You know, I'm sitting there in the video just playing the song, actually playing the song along to the song. So I'm most comfortable when I'm sitting down just with my guitar, just kind of hanging out with my friends playing music. And it really is just kind of second nature to me at this point, which I feel like is something I probably take for granted more often than I should. But it is a really useful ability to have.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it till you need it.
Yeah.
You've been doing such cool stuff for literally about 3/4 of your life, right? Can you remember the first time you were out at like Kroger or at the movies and someone recognized you and it's like, Mom, why are they looking at me? What's going on here?
I don't necessarily remember the first time, but I remember one of the first times where it felt the coolest. I was at Disneyland in California. In the Star Wars world, in the cantina. I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I'm sitting in the cantina just kind of rocking out to my blue milk. It's awesome. And these two...
was it Babu Bites? Is that
Yes.
what it is? Yes, the Babu Bites. Yes.
So these two girls came up, and I was sitting with one of my co-stars from the Disney movie I did Adventures in Babysitting. And they were like, "Excuse me, are you in Adventures in Babysitting?" And I turned around, because I thought they were talking to me, and they went, "You're also in Adventures in Babysitting." And they took a picture with us. That was super cool. I was like 11. And so for like the first time for it to feel, I guess, real.
Yeah.
And I was like, the hard work felt like it paid off there. That was really cool because you could see how excited they were. And I think we were just as excited to be recognized by people.
For sure.
So,
that doesn't happen to
And in that
everybody.
venue, man,
Of
how
course.
cool,
That's
right?
awesome.
Are you kidding me?
How many credits do you have in film now?
I don't know off the top of my head. I know it's I think considered up there. I mean I've been fortunate. I've been very fortunate to have worked on a lot of projects, a lot of really cool projects with some very talented people. So I don't know off the top of my head.
Do you check your
IMDb.
Thank you. I can never get the initials right, just to make sure. Because Kelly's listed as starring in a few things that she didn't star in.
Yeah, there's one on there that I just can't get him to take it off. I don't know who tagged me.
There was one. I don't know if it's still on there, but I think there's been one or two where they're like, Jet Jurgensmeyer co-starred in this. And I was like, no, I didn't.
I sure did not.
There have also been some that people have asked me if I've been in. I'm like, I wish I was in that Marvel movie. Yeah,
Sure.
Call me up, Russo brothers. Come on.
Well, here's what I love. We are watching all of these people come together to do live theater. We had Shucked, which was Shane McAnally pulling that together. We've got Dolly's musical that's coming out. They're working on one for Loretta Lynn eventually. So I just feel like at some point, your live theater and songwriting is all going to come together.
We'll see. I think that'd be kind of interesting to witness. I've never done like musical theater.
You would
as
be
much acting and
so
as much
good.
music as I've done,
You'd be
I've
so
never
good
put
at
them
it.
together.
Yeah.
Music videos are as close as I've come to that.
Yeah,
So
you'd kill it.
I'm really interested. I think that it'd be a lot of fun. Maybe one day Belmont will be like, hey, you want to like be a role in this theater thing that we're doing, this musical? Sure, come on, let's see
Yes.
how bad could it be? Come on.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Play and sing for us. What you got in mind?
All right, I'm gonna play you guys some unreleased music. That all right for you guys? This one's fairly new. I wrote this with Erica Latza, who I wrote Red with, and one of my best friends, David Seeger. I'm about to record this song, so this is quite literally the first time like the world is hearing it. So
Do you need a teleprompter?
I don't. I hope not. I really hope
got
not. Have my
this.
Google Doc over here with the lyrics.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
The Assembly Food Hall stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask them to leave now. Would you welcome for a short time the Malpass Brothers? Good to see you. Appreciate
Good
you
to
coming.
see you. We'll see you next time.
See?
What did you say when you walked in and saw him in the green room?
I walked in and said, I'm sorry, fellas, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And Chris said, that's not the first time somebody said that to us.
Pure honesty, buddy. Pure honesty.
How you been?
Good, man. We've been busy and got a lot of things going on, and I can't complain. We're doing good.
So the summer included, you've already done your festival, right?
We have. We
That
did
was
our
in May.
in May.
And
Little
that
late.
was, that was the,
Yeah, that's why you weren't there. You did.
That's why he was missing it.
but you took over a really famous festival in that Doyle Lawson had done that for
40
You
years.
done it
Yeah,
42 years.
yeah
I think it
42
was.
years actually.
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Exactly.
So how did you come to it?
Well,
When Doyle retired, he I think that they had kind of talked about who they wanted to take it, and Doyle put our name in the hat, and it went to us. It was, well, I guess we were his choice, and but that's I love Denton. It's Denton Farm Park is the park
In North Carolina.
Yes, sir, Denton, North Carolina, and I had always loved Denton anyway. And then when it became ours, now I love it even more. But
Well, if you'd like to plan ahead, May 7th, 8th, and 9th of 2026, the Malpass Brothers, along with Sister Sadie, the Graskels, Riders in the Sky, and more.
yeah, it's gonna be.
Plan ahead
we're
already.
available to host.
Yeah, well, come on.
In the and more category.
Yeah, there you go.
next
Yeah,
year.
that's it.
Next year we'll be at this same thing. He'll be like, "Now when is the festival?"
Well, it was 3 weeks ago, but we had a good
Did y'all play Del Fest?
We have not worked Dale Fest
Were you
yet.
at Dale Fest?
No.
We weren't either.
It's already happened.
We didn't see you there.
We weren't either.
Oh, man.
What are your favorite spots? I mean, other than your own festival, what are some of the other places that you have on your festival calendar, or just other places that you like to play and you're like, man, we gotta go back? That
Our
was it.
number one's the Opry.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, gosh. Yeah.
But I always love going to Texas.
Yeah, anywhere in Texas. We work so much in Texas, and it's all Georgia's good. It's hard to pick a place because all those venues we work are so unique and great. But I mean, there's a lot of traditional country fans out there. It's really, and it's growing. I mean, it's always been big, but it seems like it's kind of made a swing.
The pendulum is swinging back.
I believe it is. Yes, sir.
I think the last time I saw you guys were doing back-to-back nights at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes, sir, I think
Thursday,
so.
Friday,
Yes,
Saturday,
sir.
and had different suits every night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And
If
we're gonna be
we'd
there-
gone 4 straight nights, would we still have had different
Oh,
suits?
man,
I'm curious how many suits we got in the rotation.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we try to keep enough just in case.
Okay.
We're going to be there, in fact, this Saturday night. So I'm super excited about being back at the Opry. It's
Chris
always
Taylor,
great.
the Malpass Brothers, our guest this morning on the Assembly Food Hall stage. We were just reminiscing. I never knew this backstory on the first song you ever played. Charlie was just referencing an artist who brought her grandparents to the stage of the Opry, and these grandmothers come out and do Knoxville Girl.
Yeah.
And you said, that's the first song we ever played on the Opry.
is.
Yeah,
I was
it,
like, well, why?
Yeah, it was Jimmy Cap's 60th anniversary of playing, and his first song he'd ever played on the Opry was with the Louvin Brothers, and they did Knoxville Girl. So he asked us to come be his guest that night, and he said, "I really want y'all to do Knoxville Girl." And I was like, "Oh man."
Marty Stewart was playing
Yeah.
behind us, and I said, man,
And I love Knoxville Girl, but I mean, it's a killer, you know.
Yeah,
Literally.
More ways than one,
Yeah.
you know.
I thought Kelly was going to make it till right there at the end when he picked up that stick.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
That
I knew
stick.
it was over then.
That's when it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he put her in the water just to make sure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he made sure it was taken
Threw
care
her
of.
down the river.
And then just goes home and gets his mama to give him a bandana tie around his head. It's like,
There's a lot of
you
mental
just went
illness
to
happening
bed.
back
You know, I
there.
was like, you just went to bed after all
Yeah.
that?
It's
right.
kind of like a bluegrass Hitchcock movie.
It
You
is.
know,
Yeah.
it's got the same kind of temperament, you know?
The guy didn't even get a shower.
Yeah.
He just killed her and went home. It's disgusting. You know, really, when you think about it.
I learned it from the Wilburn brothers as a kid growing up.
Yeah, the Wilburns did it too, and you know, I've heard so many funny stories on Ira. You know, Ira Lubin was such a character, and they said this guy was Ira was shaving in the restroom, getting ready for the show. Because back then it was like you just get there, you didn't have these big buses and all that. So the guy came in and said, "I've driven over 200 miles to hear you do Knoxville Girl tonight, Mr. Lubin." And Ira said he never quit shaving. Said, "Well, you'll not hear it tonight." I guess he wasn't in the mood to kill anybody.
I love it.
Yeah, you hear those Carter Stanley and Ira Leuven stories.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you know Charlie continued after Ira's death.
Oh, yes,
As did Ralph. But the other two, man, I mean, the stories are legendary.
Yeah, but you know, back to Knoxville Girl, I think that was like their most requested song.
It was, yeah.
They ever did.
Who wrote it?
I don't know. It's an old.
Somebody would
Like
really,
a public domain kind
Yeah.
of?
really deep issues.
It's a song that's brought over, I believe.
1924 is the earliest recording.
Yeah.
No, but
It just says
wow.
earliest recording, but it doesn't say who did it.
I think it's brought over from another country. I mean, seriously. That's
So in
like
the-
another state.
Yeah.
Really?
In the first year of WSM, if it came in 24, we came in 25.
Yeah.
So it
Wow.
would have been among the most popular songs of
That's
that time.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was Madeline Merlot who had her grandparents out there on the
Thank you,
stage.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we the other day Dan Tominski was there on the Assembly Food Hall stage playing and singing, and he did "Man of Constant Sorrow," and we found out that goes back to 1913.
I know.
That's crazy.
That just shows you great songs endure.
Yeah,
They really do.
And the Stanley Brothers popularized it, in the modern era in the 50s.
Yeah, and no royalties now, so you can
No,
record all
exactly,
of them
yeah.
you want. That's the beauty of it, right?
Smart, man.
I hadn't thought about
Hey,
that.
listen, I'm on your side on this. So you got something really cool going on in a couple of nights over at TBN Studios, working with our buddy Ben Isaacs.
Oh, man, we're super excited. This is our first, we just, signed with Gaither Records, and we're doing our first gospel live recording album deal, so we're super excited. That'll be Thursday night we're recording that. So it's a busy week. We've been very busy, and of course we got a TV show going on RFD, and so just a lot of things going on, so we're super excited.
So on Thursday at TBN, it's 5:30 doors.
Yes, sir.
6:30 is showtime.
Yes, sir.
And
Free.
You can simply RSVP with my friend Brianna Dill. It's B Dill at GaitherIndiana.com. Apparently, Bill has purchased the state of Indiana.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, why not?
I think we gave it to him.
B Dill at GaitherIndiana.com. RSVP there. So we're going to feature Out of Sight, Out of Mind up first. Backstory on it?
Well, this is a song that I wrote. I wanted to write something brother duet style, and wrote this for this project. In fact, Ben Isaacs and Doyle Lawson produced this together, this album. So it's a really cool song. Hope folks enjoy it.
Taylor, did you get a co-writer's credit on that?
I didn't.
Okay.
I'm not a good writer. He is. He can write a
Actually.
song in like a few
But
minutes.
he should be the writer because he can spell much better than I can.
I don't know how to spell RSVP.
It's the Malpass Brothers all over the world on WSM Radio, Circle Country Television.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
Yeah, they're still here. The Assembly Food Hall stage. The Malpass Brothers, our favorites, Chris and Taylor, on the stage today, on wood from the Ryman Auditorium, from which the Circle is also made,
Yeah.
that you play on at the Grand Ole Opry.
That's so cool.
Isn't it
And it's
cool?
so cool to be here, too. God,
This is the living room.
I
This
know.
is where he lived from
This is a perfect spot for
84 to 92 when he passed away.
this. That's crazy. It's really cool.
Yeah, Mildred, when Mildred passed, Mr. Wendell had the idea. Bud Wendell said, he put the park going full tilt, and he was the ambassador, the face of the park. He and Minnie were doing those matinee shows at the Opry because it was, a year-round event for the most part. And he said, got an idea. Mr. Acuff's living in Inglewood, and they built this house, and he moved in 84, which was actually the same year we moved into the hotel studio that we recently left to come here.
That's crazy. I mean, it is one of those things when you get to look out and see the Opry right there, it all hits home that we're right here
Oh, yeah.
in the
It's
middle of it.
perfect. It's perfect.
I was
spot.
trying to think, we don't have a whole lot of people that can come on that can sit and talk murder ballads with us right before we talk about them making their debut gospel album. So really, it's full circle.
Listen, you bring it, Pretty Polly.
Listen,
No, that's
that
a
Old
lot.
Testament, a lot of killing in that Old
Oh,
Testament.
yeah,
killing.
Oh, well,
That's why we Catholics like the New Testament. We focus on the Gospels. That's all a man really needs. It's kinder, gentler.
Songwriter Hall of Famers Aaron Barker and Whitey Schaefer are writing. They have a writing session. And somehow the Bible came up in the conversation. And Whitey said to Aaron, Aaron, back here in the Old Testament, God would just kill them by the thousands. And Aaron said, yeah, sure did. That's what the gospel records. He said, man, I'm glad he got over that.
Oh, my gosh.
And Whitey would have written for your former employer, Merle Haggard. When you guys started with Merle, when was that?
In 2008, we worked with him 7 years.
How did he find out about you guys?
Well, we opened for him at a college in western part of the state, and we didn't see him that night, but the band and some of the management saw him and said, you need to see these guys. They're doing, traditional country, and they're all about this. So we went back the next night because they said he'd like to meet you. And I was like, okay, yeah, right. But he did, and we went on the bus, And actually, he came out from the back of the bus, and he said, "I heard you open the show." He said, "What do you do?" And I told him. So he handed me this little parlor guitar, and he said, "Do something." I was like, oh. Scared to death. So wound up playing 30 or 40 minutes on the bus with him, jamming. And this was in like September. He said, "I'd like to have you out at the ranch in November." Went in November, went back in December. This is 07. In January of 08, we started touring with him.
So you went to Mount Shasta?
To Redding, California, Palisadro,
okay.
where he was living at the time. So, and we pretty much lived out there for 7 years. We were out there a lot. And it was
a long way from North Carolina.
Boy, I'm not kidding you. But
First time I'd ever been to California. First time I'd ever smelled marijuana. Very strange. Very strange for me.
If you just sat at the back of the bus with me my sophomore year of high school, we would have taken care of that way earlier. So,
Wow.
that's what Taylor said when we first got out here. He said, "There sure are a lot of skunks out here."
Yeah, Kelly she got a contact high the other night at Bluegrass Nights.
Bluegrass nights.
Oh, my gosh.
The kitchen dwellers were there.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. They were fantastic. Everybody in that whole room, they were just in a good mood. I can't figure it out.
And it say you don't need a smoke machine when you've got people like that.
When you look out and see some old boy with a bong the size of a Roy Tan cigar, you know it's on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think he was the smoke machine.
Man, I was only 18. I was terrified.
I bet.
I felt and I felt like I'd come from rural North Carolina. I didn't know nothing about it. I thought like the feds were going to come in and like, you know what I mean, guns blazing. Everybody on the ground.
So you have different kind of paranoia that's sometimes associated with food. Yeah.
Oh, bless it.
And I had not smoked anything. I was just terrified.
Yeah. Guilt by association.
Still scared.
And that's why they have to do their gospel album now to just feel like you got rid of all your sins.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Kelly. TBN Studios Thursday at 5:30 doors. Show starts at 6:30. If you want to be a part of their live taping, their debut gospel album with Gaither Music, Ben Isaacs producing that. It's B. Dill, D-I-L-L, Brianna Dill, bdill at gaitherindiana.com to RSVP. I'd love for you to play something this morning. Give us a backstory on these instruments you got.
Okay, well, this guitar was Charlie Leuven's. And
no kidding.
Yes, sir. I've had it for about 15 years. I play it every show. But this was Charlie's D28. It was customized by Mike Onworth. And then Taylor's playing a really cool mandolin.
This belongs to a friend of mine, Tim Dillman, here in Nashville. But this was Jimmy Martin's mandolin. I think it's a early 50s Gibson F12 that he had customized.
Oh, wow.
That is cool.
He'd put a raccoon up on the headstock. He's a big coon hunter.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I love that you guys are playing those. I mean, some people collect stuff and hang it on a wall, and I always feel bad because instruments want to be played.
They do, and they need to be. I want people to see it, and I've had young kids, want to come up and see Charlie, and I've handed it to them, let them play. I mean, that's what it's about, is keeping the tradition going. So.
Yeah. Same with records. I've got a pretty nice vinyl collection, and my wife will ask me, "Are you going to play that?" I'm like, "That's why I bought it.
That's what they're for.
Exactly.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Martin on the headstock over there is different from what you normally see.
It is, yes, sir. And it's kind of like the 41 and 45s, but it's a little unique. It trips a lot of people up because they'll go, "What is that a 41?" Or but because it was customized by Longworth, Mike Longworth, for Charlie, it's a little different. But
the great Jimmy Martin quote when you said his name was, "You know what's wrong with bluegrass?" I said, "No, Jimmy, what? Uppity and stupidity."
Well, there's a lot of stupidity me and Taylor got.
Oh, yeah.
Love that quote. What you gonna play and sing, man?
Well, I thought talking about all the traditional country, we would do a song.
We'll do the Knoxville Girl.
Yeah. I thought we'd do something very old school that I think the Leuvens did it and Jimmy Dickens did it and everybody we could. Do you remember that old song?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll try and do. We haven't done it in a long time, but we've got more guts than we do talent.
So I saw where Charlie Pride, I remember hearing it from him when I was young. Jack Clement produced that song.
Yes, sir.
And then I looked as you guys were playing. Al Martino, one of the great pop crooners back in the 60s, had a version of We Could, too. So, and Felice Bryant
Oh,
It's that's a great song.
Yeah, Charlie Pride's our first concert.
That's the first concert we ever saw. Yeah, that was a big inspiration for us. I love Charlie Pride.
Did you smell marijuana?
No, I didn't
Well,
know
you
that.
know, when we were little boys, our grandparents had a front living room, and they would let us play with. We had little cardboard boxes. We would make barns and stuff out of. Had tractors and everything. Every day we'd sit there and play with toy tractors and listen to Charlie Pride.
Yes, I love Charlie
I
Pride.
love Charlie Pride, man.
We love y'all. Thanks for coming to see us.
We
Yes,
love
sir.
y'all too. Thank you.
And Chris and Taylor, the Malpass Brothers, their TBN taping is Thursday. Doors at 5:30, show at 6:30. If you'd like to attend, be a part of it, RSVP B. Dill, Brianna Dill, B. Dill at GaitherIndiana.com. They're going to record their debut gospel album with Gaither Music and Ben Isaacs, of Grand Ole Opry fame, opera membership, producing that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Are you guys going to do the announcement in unison?
I don't know. We haven't really practiced that.
Okay.
So
I've had enough
probably-
trouble doing things myself this morning, so I
Yeah.
might defer to Miss Sutton over there and let her handle this one.
Mark the date.
Yes.
Mark the date, July
Yes.
17. Kelly Sutton, take it.
Okay, so we can announce it now. There's going to be a special show. It's going to be happening at the Ryman on July 17th. So this is pretty cool. It's going to feature a collection of performances to return fans to a historic night that was once happening on the Ryman stage. March 15th, 1974. We are going to recreate that show. Charlie Matos, you're going to be doing the commercials that actually happened from that show, March 15th, 1974.
I'm very excited. I'm looking for 1970s ties. Kind of look like Lou Grant from the Mary Tyler Moore
Because
Show.
it-
I think it's going to be my
wide,
look.
ties
I
were
like
wide.
it.
Wide and
Yeah,
short.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
wide and short.
Isn't that cool? So what do you know about how that night is going to happen
Well,
so far?
I think the only performer who would have been around then who is still with us now would be Whisperin' Bill Anderson,
Okay.
I think. McConaughey possibly.
Yeah.
Seeley.
But I know we're going to replay that half hour earlier in the day on WSM from the actual show in 74
that's
and then
cool.
recreate it the final half hour on that night. And I can tell you that the band Perry will be there, Mandy Barnett, Chuck Mead, and Lori Morgan will all be there as well.
Now, will they be singing the same songs that were sung on March 15th, 1974?
A complete recreation of that last half hour. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
So are you doing Martha White, Goo Goo Cluster?
I'm hoping to do some maybe Lucky Strikes or Beach Nut or,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something good. Pet Milk.
Verbatim?
With the proteins
You're gonna
that T. Tommy used to always point out.
Use
Instead
your-
of proteins.
Proteins.
Paul Harvey used to say that too.
Proteins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the coolest. I mean, any show at the Ryman is just cool, but I think it's just going to be so neat.
You're going to use your Grant Turner voice instead of your own?
I'm going to work on different voices, I think.
good.
Grant Turner might be a stretch for me. But
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's very cool. So it's going to be happening again on the 17th. Tickets are on sale now. It's going to be at the Ryman. And then are we going to carry that live on the air?
oh, no, of course.
course.
Yeah.
Okay, just making
No,
sure.
it's a real show.
All
Yep.
right. So be listening for that. That's
Well, we
very
told
cool.
Charlie we are. Maybe not. Told
Yeah.
Charlie.
Takes
he'd
the
go.
pressure off me a little bit if I don't think I'm actually on the air. Have
I
we
get
been on
it.
the air today?
We're going live to tape.
That's right.
It's fine. You sounded great, honey. Doing great. Okay, Charles Kelly, he's got a new album out. This is really cool. It's just a project that he wanted to do. Solo album. It is not country. It's adult contemporary. But he has a song on here that we all know and love. Cyndi Lauper's classic Time After Time.
40 years old, maybe?
It was from the 80s. So Cyndi Lauper in the 80s. And he did it because he said he sings that song to his son, Ward. So he's been singing that to Ward since Ward was born. Ward is now 9. And this is really cool. Charles and his wife, Cassie, are expecting their second baby
Look
this
out.
coming fall.
wow.
Very
Oh,
cool.
Time, let's see. Go ahead.
Little surprise for you.
Okay.
He is not the first country artist to record that Cyndi Lauper song.
Uh-oh.
Let me take you back 30 years.
Okay.
If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting
Oh, Willie.
time after time.
I kind of remember when he did this. Now that you say
It was on the Great Divide that had Mendocino County line with Leanne Womack. You know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was I mean, he's actually going to be my pick of the week. You know, his "Oh What a Beautiful World" album is nothing but Rodney Crowell songs.
Oh, okay.
And I got a song called "She's Back in Town," and you would swear it came from the 20s, 30s, Fats Waller, that whole era. But no, it came from the mind of Rodney Crowell. Oh. And when delivered by Willie Nelson, it is on.
Perfection.
And 84, by the way. January of 84 was the release date of Cyndi Lauper's version.
I remember it, but don't know why I remember it. So it was in that time frame of I was hearing it on the radio and young enough to memorize the lyrics, but don't know why. So it's permanently embedded in my brain.
Oh, yeah. And Girls Just Want to Have Fun would have been like such a
100%.
monster hit.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't avoid that. You know?
Cyndi Lauper's having a moment because Russell Dickerson has the song now that references she's singing "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" at the top of her lungs, and he sent me a hat that says literally "Just a girl who wants to have fun." So thank you,
Russell. You going to
Russell,
wear it
for
on
that.
the opera?
I might.
Okay.
It depends. I don't know. WrestleMania. Go get your tickets. Go see Russell live. Also want to let you know that Charles has a song that's now top 10 adult contemporary hit with "Can't Lose You," and it's so very good. I can't recommend it enough. Okay, Kenny Chesney fans, get ready. Vinyl is coming your way, and this is something that has never been released on vinyl. It's Road to the Radio finally having its record moment. It was released in November of 2005. Nearly half the songs on this 11-track album were hits, including "Living Fast Forward," "Summertime," "Beer in Mexico." They all made it to number 1. "Who You'd Be Today" and "You Save Me" all made it into the top 5. You can pre-order the vinyl edition of it now. I think it's so cool when they do things like this that everybody knows and loves, but they've never had it. For those vinyl collectors, they're like, yes, we finally get it.
You know, Mark Wills was so excited because he had vinyl for the first time with his greatest hits,
right.
too. So, because if you're in that niche of time, there was no vinyl.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah, really cool.
Very cool.
And I thought about you when I heard Willie singing this particular line from Rodney Crowell, "She's back in town, my pick of the week tomorrow." 2 soldier boys home from the war making noise down at the end of the bar. They said they'd seen her. Ooh, she's looking leaner. She's back in town.
Oh, Lord. Lord help
Kelly
us.
Sutton, Charlie Manos, Bill Cody. Thank you, Lexi Carter, studio director today, and Jeff Roberts, as always, rock solid and master control.